Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, what is the worst fashion trend of all time?
Also, would you get on the plane if your wife's not there? And more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Climbing Mount Everest, one of the greatest feats that any human could accomplish, any greatest physical feats anyways. Would you agree, Isaiah?
I would say so.
Physical and mental. It takes a toll on you. But it's about to get even more difficult, some might say, because the country which Mount Everest is located in, which you know it is the country.
Oh, of course, yeah. One of those European countries, right?
I'm surprised. I feel like when I was growing up, I thought that it was in China, but it's not in China.
Mount Everest? I knew it wasn't in China. It's in Europe somewhere, right?
No, it's not. It is in Asia.
It's in Asia.
It's in the country of Nepal.
Interesting.
Yeah, Nepal. And in Nepal, where Everest is located, they have instituted a new policy because they have a problem with people climbing Mount Everest. The problem is that people go, and you know what they don't have on Mount Everest in a very short supply? Bathrooms.
I guess that makes sense.
And so people just have to go wherever, and they just leave it behind.
That's a part of the experience, yeah.
But apparently that's become so much of an issue that they're now asking people to, a new policy, to bring their waste back home with them.
How could it possibly be that much of an issue?
I guess a lot of people are climbing Everest.
Apparently it's like an everyday kind of thing. Just anybody can climb it now.
Yeah, maybe it's not as hard as we think.
It doesn't seem like it.
A lot of people attempt anyways. And maybe there's like, you know how some, like on mountains, they have the tree line, right?
Yeah.
But on Mount Everest, they have the poop line. Like,
this is the spot.
You keep going up, and you see slowly and surely there's less and less poop until you're like, well, nobody gets up here.
Nobody. Yeah, this is the farthest they come.
Yeah.
And once you get to this point, you're not going to the bathroom either.
Yeah, that's right, because you just got to hightail it to the top. They are making it. They're trying to make it accessible for people, so they're giving people reusable bags that can be used up to 6 times that help solidify the waste and make it odorless, and you can use those bathroom bags up to 6 times to contain your waste, and then obviously keep it with you and bring it back down the mountain when you're done.
This is just another reason if I was on the edge, literally on the edge, about climbing Mount Everest, this would just be another check mark box and not doing it.
Yeah. Were you on the edge?
I was never on the edge.
Have you ever? So you're already definitely going to do it.
I'm not going to do it,
You're not going to do it.
No chance. Do I even, like, if I said I've climbed Mount Everest, at this point, since there's so many people doing it, it doesn't even sound that impressive.
Oh, come on, though. You put yourself, that you've climbed Mount Everest on, like, your dating profile. Don't you think that'd be pretty impressive?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a decent little thing. A little fun fact about your life.
How easy would it be to lie about it?
Mount Everest?
Yeah.
100% easy.
You think you could lie and people
100%.
would believe you?
Yes, people that don't know me, I could tell them I climbed Mount Everest. Be pretty convincing.
Is that the type of thing that they would like introduce you to friends to? They'd be like, "This is Isaiah. He climbed Mount Everest."
Yeah, like the first fun fact they tell about me.
I mean, it's pretty impressive.
It is impressive.
I don't know anybody who's done it.
I don't know anybody either. But I also can't even get to Nepal. I wouldn't even know how to go about getting there.
That'd be much more difficult than actually climbing the mountain.
Let alone climbing the mountain. I don't even know how to get to Nepal or where that's at.
But you got to have a lot of money, too, because you got to have, like, rations. I don't know how long it takes to climb Everest, but it's a long time. And now...
You got to pay for a guide.
That's right. What do they call it? A Sherpa? You need a Sherpa to take you up the mountain.
And from what I've heard, there's, like, less and less of them every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, it's difficult for a reason. Now it's getting even more difficult because you think that's a lot of extra weight you're going to have to carry with you, too.
Oh, yeah, you get those extra pounds on there.
Yeah, like that's one more thing to carry is if you don't have enough.
As if there's not animals that live on the mountain. I mean, come on.
To eat it?
No, they're also going to the bathroom.
Oh,
that's not some big issue? Like, are people pooping on the path? Is that the big problem?
I don't even know if there's a path.
People are constantly stepping in poop as they're walking up. So it's unbelievable. You can't even get up the mountain at this point.
There's never been a can of worms they didn't open. The Riot, RadioU.
Isaiah, today a special day. It's opening day in Major League Baseball.
That is a big day.
Yeah. Here's what I want to know from you. I want to know, what are you looking forward to in the 2024 baseball season?
Well, I'm always looking forward to my Cleveland Guardians being back at it once again.
Yep.
They're the only team that I will watch. I won't tune into anything else.
Yeah.
So if the Guardians are on, the thing I'm looking forward to most is being able to have baseball on in the afternoon, evening time, and being able to just have a nice, relaxing summer day.
Yes. You know what? I used to, when I was growing up, football, because it was on Sunday afternoons, was the best sport to nap to.
Oh, it's baseball.
But now it's definitely baseball, 100%. Because if football's on, I'm paying attention. Baseball can be on. The announcers are so soothing that there's like that soft crowd noise most of the time in the background. Having baseball on, and this is not what baseball wants to hear, but it is the best sport to nap to by far. Maybe golf. Golf could be up there. But here's what obviously, there's some good stories. If you're following baseball a little more closely, you're thinking like, are the Dodgers, are they going to be a super team? Are they just going to dominate because they've got way more stars than any other team? They've got the biggest star in the game right now, Shohei Ohtani. They've got a lot going for them. They just spent $1 bajillion to assemble a super team. Will that actually work out for them is one storyline. But here's what I think can get casual people interested. And so this isn't necessarily a prediction, but it's a hope. I hope this happens because this will get me more interested as well. The way baseball has changed, I hope that we get somebody that can viably pursue the home run record, a single season home run record this year. That would get some eyeballs.
That would.
And I can't be anybody on the Yankees. Aaron Judge would be a prime candidate, but I guess he's more likely to get injured. It can't be him. It needs to be somebody else that maybe isn't even necessarily a household name outside of like big baseball fans. Even somebody like Pete Alonso. He could do it. He plays for the Mets. He hits a lot of home runs. What if he gets on a pretty good pace and all of a sudden it looks like, oh, maybe he could actually catch Barry Bonds. Maybe he could hit 73 in a year. They don't have to actually do it, but it has to at least be a chance of it happening. That would get people interested.
That could be one way. Because I was thinking, what could it be? I was thinking the same thing. What could it be that could get people interested in baseball again? Because it's clearly not a villain. A villain doesn't do it because we've had a villain.
Yeah.
For the past 5 years, it's been the Houston Astros.
The Astros are a big villain. Obviously, the Yankees always a villain. Still very hateable. That was the other thing I was thinking. The top thing I'm cheering for this year is them to just suck.
Oh, the Yankees are suck?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Astros were, caught cheating. Yeah. Won the World Series, and then they're just constantly good.
Yeah.
And them being a major, very easy team to root against isn't even enough to draw serious eyeballs to them in the playoffs. And so I wonder, what is it that in the playoffs could really get people? What does the narrative need to be? Yeah. There needs to be a really good narrative in the playoffs this year, I think.
Yeah. The Dodgers are the closest thing to, they're not a villain. That was the thing I was thinking too. Like a lot of super teams you wind up hating. The Dodgers just have a bunch of players that aren't very hateable players, like Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. They're not like guys, Clayton Kershaw, they're not like, oh, I hate that guy. At least not to me. So I don't think the Dodgers are villainous enough, even though they're built just the way the Yankees always are, that makes people hate them. It's just like they're all money and no salary cap. So I think we gotta have a home run challenge. We gotta have somebody just doing something we haven't seen in a long time.
See, I like that. I think the only other way, because Shohei is such a big name, either Shohei needs to become the greatest player ever, or he needs to become the biggest villain of all time. He needs to become the most hateable player ever.
I don't know if he has that in him.
I think he needs to get
maybe with this gambling scandal, maybe things will change.
Here we go.
Do you have a prediction of who you think it'll be in the World Series?
You already know who I'm picking. No matter how many times...
The Pirates?
No, not the Pirates. No matter how many times you count them out, those Cleveland Guardians are going to be at the top of that division. And so for me, yet again, a front runner. If you can make it into the playoffs, you can make it to the World Series.
Yeah, and clearly the Rangers and Diamondbacks, who thought that was happening last year.
One thing the Guardians do pretty consistently is be right there to make it in the playoffs.
Yeah, in their bad division. I'll take the Red Sox, of course.
The Red Sox? Yeah. That's just a blasphemy.
They don't have the number one pick, so they could be viable.
That's true.
Hudson is the maple syrup, and Isaiah is the power protein flapjack. This is The Riot on RadioU.
This week is a big week for travel. Lots of people maybe going to be with family over the Easter weekend. Still spring break, the tail end of spring break for some people. But picture this, Isaiah. I got a scenario for you, and we'll see what people say. if they want to chime in at 8772 RadioU, what they would do. Let's say you're at the airport this week. You're there with your significant other, your wife, your girlfriend, and you're about to get ready for your flight, about to hop on the flight, but your significant other says, you know what, I'm really tired. I got to go get a coffee before we take off. And you say, no, it's too close to the flight. You're not going to be able to get a coffee and get back in time.
Stressing me out already.
But she insists, no, I need a coffee. Let me just run over there to Starbucks, get the coffee, and we'll be good to go. And she runs off.
My heart's racing.
Yeah.
Right now.
And then you hear it over the speakers. Last call for boarding for Atlanta.
I'm fuming.
Everybody on flight 217, hop on board. That's what they would say, hop on board. Your wife hasn't come back. Your girlfriend gone. Getting the coffee. What do you do?
You know what I do.
No, I don't.
You have no idea? It all depends on what you said before they left, in my mind. If I'm waiting there for her, and because she goes, and I didn't say, like, you better be back, I'd say, I would say, you better be back. I say, you better be back. And then we miss, or else. I'm not getting on the flight without her. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I know that the repercussions of that is horrific.
Yeah.
But there's always a positive. If I miss the flight because of her, then who's the bad guy she is?
Yeah, I guess so.
I get the I told you so.
Yep.
Because there's no way she's getting the coffee in time. If you leave right before we're supposed to get on the plane to get a coffee at an airport, there's a 0% chance you're making it back before you get the coffee.
Yep.
The line's going to be so long.
The coffee, anything at the airport, at like the restaurants, takes longer than you think it will.
Like, when is the right time? Like, when are you actually getting on that plane without your wife?
I don't know if I could ever do it. Even though the repercussions of not getting on are also, I mean, what are you going to tell when you need to get a different ticket? You're going to say, sorry, my wife needed a coffee?
And you got to think, too, you're wasting money not getting on the plane.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the extra flight.
You're also wasting money buying a coffee at an airport. It's going to cost $8
yeah.
for a black.
But, like, if the flight's $200, let's say it's a $200 flight. Mm-hmm. If you just get on, then you can just buy your flight, and then it's only $200.
Yeah.
But if you wait for no reason, you're waiting for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, you're waiting.
No good reason.
You're waiting to avoid an argument of why did you leave me?
Yeah.
And the argument could be, well, would you rather have spent $200, an extra $200 for me to sit there with you on the plane where we're both upset? It's not like this second plane ride is going to be fun.
No.
This isn't a fun ride. So now we're paying $200 extra, and we both have a crappy flight. Mm-hmm. Or I leave now, we save $200 and you fly alone.
Yep.
And you just sit there and you get to think about the decisions that you've made. Yeah. But unfortunately, we're paying $400 and we're both having a crappy flight. So what's happening?
Yeah, but we both know this is the right thing to do. What if the roles were reversed? We're thinking about this from a man's perspective. Weiston
said, sucks for her, I'm getting on the plane.
I feel like that's easier to say than actually do. But what if does it change if we are the ones that goes and gets the coffee? What would you expect your girlfriend to do?
Oh, she's get on the plane.
Because
I'll fly alone.
I don't think there's any shot that Angela would get on the plane without me.
Oh, yeah, that's a low chance, too.
Yeah, even though she would be right to do so. And then I would be all out of sorts because you talk about me abandoned at an airport. I don't know what I'm doing.
You got to make some phone calls, buddy. Yeah. I would say go without me. If I would have her,
it's that important to you.
Yes, 100%. The $200, it's just go. I will figure it out. And it also depends, are we heading somewhere or are we heading home?
Yeah.
If we're heading home, for sure go without me. If we're heading somewhere, then that's going to mess some things up. Maybe we just cancel the trip because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's probably smarter.
Maybe we just head back home. We just call it
on the tickets. Oh man, it's a tough question. But you're right. I'm stressed out just thinking about it.
I hate it. The airport is a stressful place already. As soon as we get to the gate, if I can't see you, if the coffee place or the restaurant is not within eyesight of where we're getting on, then I don't want you going. Even the bathroom seems like a stretch sometimes.
Yeah.
If the bathroom's too far away, I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm going on the plane.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Solar eclipse coming up April 8th. I'm sure many people have their calendars marked. And while I've definitely heard many people raising concerns about what animals are going to do during the solar eclipse, it's going to be weird, or the massive crowds and the path of totality and the preparation for that, there's one state that is got an even bigger concern on their mind during the total solar eclipse on April 8th. And that state is Texas. See, Texas has its own seemingly fragile electric grid. It's entirely contained within Texas, and that powers the whole state, provides power to the whole state. But what they are nervous about and preparing for is that about a third of the state's electricity, a third of the state's power comes from solar power. But, the solar eclipse is coming up. That could be an issue.
So they're going to completely lose power for at least 3 to 4 minutes.
They're going to completely lose solar power for 3 to 4 minutes. But think about this, Isaiah. You know how the eclipse works, right? The sun goes completely dark for 3 to 4 minutes or whatever. But it's not like it's fully out and shining bright during the rest of the eclipse. Like the moon slowly moves in front of the sun. It gets darker and darker. Then it's the totality for 4 minutes. Then it slowly moves away from the sun and it gets brighter and brighter, but it's still pretty dark for a lot of that time.
So I haven't spent long periods in Texas.
Uh-huh.
So like during the nighttime, does everybody just have their lights off? Or like microwaves don't work? What about a cloudy day? What if there's 3 cloudy days in a row?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, clearly they normally have power in Texas and it normally works, but this kind of event, taking such a big chunk out of their solar power for much of a day, is going to be something they have to account for. And they can't just go along business as usual.
This is one of those things too, like with the solar eclipse. Obviously, we haven't had this on the calendar for years ahead of time.
Yeah.
That way they could prepare.
Yeah.
Like obviously this is kind of popping up out of nowhere. I mean, we're doing the glasses thing. Some people have glasses. A lot of people don't have the glasses yet even.
Yeah, that's right.
And so how can the government of Texas be expected on such short notice? Because obviously, yet again, the calendar, total eclipse comes out of nowhere on them. How could they be able to prepare for something like this? Yeah,
well, what they're really hoping for is that it's not a double whammy, because you have the eclipse and you have and what they're hoping doesn't happen, and it's early in the year, so hopefully this doesn't happen. But if there's a heat wave and everybody's using their air conditioning at the very same time because the eclipse during the day, so it could be pretty warm,
could be hot.
They are concerned that would really put a big strain on the other 2/3 of their power, wherever it comes from.
I have seen online a lot of people talking about getting food prepped for the eclipse, because you may be out of power or different big phenomenons coming on with the eclipse as it gets closer.
I'm sure there's lots of conspiracy theories that revolve around it and stuff. So just be prepared. And I've heard a lot of people complaining too about when there's a big crowd in town, that you might just be stuck waiting in your normal small town because there's just going to be so many people coming to the path of totality.
Jeez, I was just worried about getting the glasses, but now I have all this to worry about.
I know, it's even more than you realize.
I need to ration my food and get some water. I should probably double up on dog
and
food
find a parking spot
for my pet gym. Yep, and get my car in the right spot. And then the glasses are the least of my worries.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
Isaiah, do you know anybody like this that is real excited about like planning a wedding, can't wait to get married, and they're single?
I know some ladies like that.
Oh, the ladies, huh? That makes more sense. It'd be wild if the guy's like, I can't wait. I already have my outfit picked out.
I can't wait till somebody puts a ring on this finger.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that is more of a gal thing. But I mean, I think a lot of people, it's one thing to have your dream wedding and to know like what you want when the day arrives. But some people take it to kind of a next level where that's like that's their thing. They would go to the first date and be like, start talking about the wedding already. This is what I want. This is what I'm dreaming about. And that's what the relationship started off as, that'd be a wild way to start out a relationship for sure.
A couple first questions.
Yeah.
Would you be open to marriage within this year?
Yeah, that's right.
Do I come across as somebody that maybe you could propose to?
I definitely
Possibly?
want an outdoor wedding, and it's going to have to cost $75,000.
Would you like
No
a
less.
wraparound porch, or are you thinking a walkout basement?
Yeah. And look, there's nothing wrong with planning for the future and being excited about that stuff, but some people just take it a little too far. And that, to me, is kind of how I also feel like God is actually presented. At least in some people's minds, the incentive of God is, well, he'll keep you from going to hell. At least, you better start talking to God because you won't go to hell. That's like planning the wedding before you've had your first date. It's not that it's not important, but God isn't just concerned about the end of your life. God is concerned about right now. And a lot of us are in a spot where you just want help right now. Forget about when I die 60, 70 years from now. What about today? What about how do I get through today? How do I make today easier? God can help you plan for the future, but God is also there to help you through every single individual day. Every time you need help, you can turn to him. Every time you need somebody to talk to, you can turn to God. Every time you need support, God is there for you on good and bad days. If you're ready for that, then start talking to God. Go for it. Take it. Say, hey, Jesus, I need that. I need some help. I need some support. I need some help today. Forget about the future. God will do that for you. You want to know more? Check out RadioU.com/free gift.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
The number one pick in the worst fashion trend draft, I am going with, and this is an obvious choice, visible boxers.
Oh, you're going visible boxers.
Yeah, your jeans hanging down.
You're going sagging.
Everybody can see your boxers. I know when I was growing up, there was a lot of guys, and maybe even I participated from time to time.
Oh, you were sagging.
Visible boxer trend.
You better cut that out.
Yeah,
Not
but
here.
Never now. That is the number one pick. It serves no purpose, and it looks ridiculous. And so the number one pick in the worst fashion trend draft is visible boxers.
I like that choice. I like that choice a lot. With the number 2 overall pick, I'm going with any form of rubber bracelet.
Ooh.
I'm talking the rainbow looms.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking any of the stupid balance bracelets that were supposed to help you with your balance. Silly bands, any rubber bracelet. Why in the world?
Really? Oh, so you're going to hate on the Live Strong bracelets,
I'm hating on every single one of them. I'm hating with every single rubber bracelet.
A lot of those are to support good causes.
They are, but you should not be spending money on a rubber bracelet. Wear a watch.
Yeah.
What are you doing with all these rubber bracelets? And I have many a times been a rubber bracelet wearer. Rainbow loom and silly bands, that's just crazy talk.
Yeah.
Why were my parents buying these things for me? Especially as a child. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was
when
one.
it's okay when you're a kid.
Yeah. On my next one, shoes with toes.
Ooh, shoes with toes.
Shoes with toes.
Was that ever? I mean, I know those exist. Was that
You know
ever
what I'm talking
fashionable,
about.
though?
I don't know that it was fashionable, but that was one of the many things that people were rocking.
Yeah.
And I know there's lots of people probably that still rock those shoes
For
with
the
toes.
workouts or something, yeah.
And you can tell me that you think that they are very functional and that they work well. If I see you in those, that's a crazy thing to wear.
Yeah.
It'll never not look crazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
There's no denying that. I also, for my next pick, I have a shoe-related one, and this is one that I know a lot of people currently still engage in, but I'm going to say it anyways. Crocs.
Oh, that's so controversial.
Yeah,
People
it
love
is.
Crocs.
People do love Crocs, but even the people that love them, do you really love them because they look good, or do you love them because they're comfortable? If you love them because they're comfortable, that's fine. But as a fashion statement, when you just have to think about what you're saying when you're leaving the house wearing Crocs. Even to this day, they're not fashionable. They look ridiculous. I don't care how comfy they are, and so that is a terrible fashion trend. I don't know why they can't just make comfy shoes that don't look like Crocs. And then my final pick, I'm going to go the old-timey horizontal striped one-piece bathing suits for men.
Horizontal
Yeah,
stripes.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
They go over the shoulders like a tank top and shorts, and they're probably like red and white, and but it's all one piece. And what kind of man looked good wearing that? Nobody would ever wear that today. It was a horrible fashion trend, whatever time it was in. It was dumb. It was a dumb time. They were dumb to wear those. They looked horrible and bad fashion trend.
My final choice.
Couldn't they even have put a different pattern? Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
My final pick, I'm going popped collars. Do I need to say more? I don't know if I need to say anything else. I'm going popped collars. Everybody knows what a popped collar is.
Yep.
What are we doing?
So the recap, I had the number one pick. My team is visible boxers, Crocs, and old-timey horizontal striped one-piece bathing suits for men. Isaiah, your team?
I'm going any form of rubber bracelet. I've also got shoes with toes and then popped collars.
8772 RadioU, who put together the better team of terrible fashion trends, and which picks did we miss? Let us know. We'll see what people are saying coming up next.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
We're in the midst of Choice Champions, the worst fashion trends edition. I had the first pick. My team is visible boxers, Crocs, and old-timey horizontally striped one-piece bathing suits for men. Isaiah, your team is?
Any form of rubber bracelet, followed by shoes with toes, wrapped it up with popped collars.
And the votes are coming in. We heard from Justin, who says, definitely going with Hudson. Crocs just scream, I don't care. And he said, how on earth did either of us miss Jinko jeans?
That's because Hudson's wearing them right now. I didn't feel right picking a bad fashion trend that he's wearing.
Some good thoughts there from Justin. Also, Adam says, I'm going with Hudson's team because the pants falling down thing is really dumb. I mean, that was a great pick at number one. You got to admit.
Sagging is good.
Yeah.
Sagging was a good choice.
Susanna says Isaiah wins easily, but gives no explanation. Carl says, and I knew this would happen, not fashionable, false in regarding Crocs, and he sent a picture in. He's got American flag Crocs. Carl, it might just be the floor there, but it looks like you're about to take a shower in a public restroom.
Yeah, you don't need to go with Carl because he's wearing Crocs. All right, I wanted to be a Croc guy. I haven't endeared myself into Crocs, but for many years I've been wanting Crocs. I don't want to buy them.
Yeah.
I want them to come to me as a gift. I want them to be gifted
you
to
want
me.
someone to gift you Crocs.
I want to get them for a birthday or Christmas or something, and that way I can try them out. I don't feel right buying them.
Maybe Carl will send you some.
Some RadioU Crocs.
Yeah, Bryn says Isaiah won by a landslide. Sorry, not sorry. What else was on your honorable mentions list? Because my top three was definitely set in stone, but there are some other ones that definitely deserve some attention.
The other ones I had were the obnoxiously baggy gym shorts. That was on my list. If you remember from the early 2000s, especially when you think about March Madness and college basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of the gym shorts we saw in that time period were insane.
There's some great pictures of guys just rocking unnecessarily long shorts. Is that worse? What would you rather have in like the NBA right now? Those shorts back again, or like Larry Bird, like 70s, 80s?
Oh, I want the
shorts.
70s, 80s.
Yeah, that'd be way better.
They look way cooler, way cooler than the super saggy ones. We also have long sleeve plus t-shirt.
I had that too. I'm not necessarily for or against. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think it's just stupid.
But I do remember a short period of time in my life when I was probably like 12, where I was like, I want to do that. But I realized I didn't have enough long sleeve shirts to actually even make that a viable option.
Two other things that I have here, one of them being the sideways hat. I just never understood it.
Yeah.
I really don't. I just don't. I don't understand the sideways hat. Front or backwards, hat. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Any hat that's on sideways, I just assume that you're doing some sort of rally at a baseball game where you're trying to come back from a large deficit. Like, it just seems like a rally cap to me. I don't know why you're wearing it sideways. And then my final one, neon, is my last one.
Just neon?
Neon, yeah. I feel like there's a portion of every child's life between the age of about 7 years old and 12.
Yeah.
When you're rocking a lot of neon.
Well, yeah.
I wish I could have skipped that phase.
Especially if you're a little athletic and like Under Armour makes all the neon. Yeah, it's hard to
lime
avoid.
greens, the neon oranges. They just don't seem like regular wearing clothes to me.
Yeah, but could be good for safety.
Could be, yes.
That's
for a nice morning run.
Be all that it's good for. Susanna says, I have Crocs as well. Some of the other ones I wanted to point out, overalls.
I like overalls.
They're unnecessary and inconvenient, though, if you're not like a farmer.
Yeah, but I like
it's not
overalls.
Functional for work.
Nene wears overalls sometimes to work.
I know, yeah.
I like overalls.
That's a mistake he's making. Also, Uggs, but Uggs much more functional and don't look nearly as goofy to me as Crocs. Also, all visors. I don't like visors.
Oh, visor. You're against the visor.
Either wear a hat or don't, I say. And finally, cloche hats. You know what those are?
I'm not familiar with that last one.
Cloche hat?
Whatever you just said.
It's what ladies wore probably in like the 20s or whatever. It's like they kind of look like a beanie, but they have that flower on it, and they're
I'm looking. I see now.
Yeah, ladies, what were you doing in the 20s, the 1920s?
Yeah, those are silly hats.
Ridiculous. There's a reason nobody wears them now. They look stupid.
You had some really controversial ones there.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that wear visors, especially to golf.
Why wouldn't you just wear a hat?
See, because the visor's more comfy. Because then you don't have it on the top of your head, especially if it's hot out in the summer. You still get the blockage. It's just for functionality.
Then why don't you just wear one of the floppy ones?
The floppy one? Oh, you mean a bucket hat?
Like a bucket hat, yeah.
Hot.
Also ridiculous, but at least better than at least it's actually a hat, is what I say.
Yeah, the visor.
That's what I say.
And then overalls. People like overalls.
Yeah, they do, but they make no sense.
You're going to need Todd and Nene after this.
Choice champions. Justin declared me the winner, so I guess I win.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
We're doing Fired or Hired on the Riot this morning. We had a texter text in at 8772 Radio U, and they need your help to decide whether or not their coworker is in the wrong. Should she get in trouble? She explains, so I share an open office space/area with several people. One of these women is on her phone/AirPods all day long from the time she comes in until I leave for the day, gabbing with her friends about their dating lives, the royal family, Game of Thrones, fashion, and many other things.
Ooh.
Obviously not work-related at all. If someone needs her for something, she tells them she's in the middle of something, then wraps up her call temporarily. She said, it gets really old to listen to. My other coworkers around me are tired of it too. Many of us wear headphones, but she is not a quiet person and can be heard. We're tired of hearing her all day, but none of us necessarily want to run to HR. I think it's tattling, and while she is really annoying, it doesn't affect any of our abilities to do our jobs. I'm certainly guilty of texting my friends throughout the day, but not calling them on the phone. I should add that her manager is never in the office, but even if she is, this woman is still on the phone. What would you do? She's not one that I feel comfortable approaching myself and asking to refrain from phone calls at work.
This is a tough one. I'm glad that I'm not involved in this, because this would make me very uncomfortable.
You wouldn't like this much?
No, I would not. I am going to give thoughts, but would I actually follow through on whatever advice I actually give if this was actually happening to me? The answer is probably no. I just don't know what I would do if it was actually real life. 8772 Radio U. It is real life to this person, so we got to help them. We got to come up with a strategy. Your coworker's always on the phone with an earshot of you throughout the workday. Who do you complain to? Do you talk to them directly? Is there something else you can do? 8772 Radio U. Chime in with your thoughts. We'll see what people are saying coming up next.
You don't always have to agree with Isaiah to always disagree with Hudson. The Riot. Radio U.
In the midst of Fired or Hired, where, to sum this up briefly, we have a woman that is always on her phone, chatting loudly with her friends about completely things that are completely unrelated to work, and it's bothering her desk mates. The people within earshot are having a hard time, even though it doesn't. She says it doesn't affect, or the coworker says it doesn't affect their ability to do their jobs, but it is annoying. What do you do? We do have Chad chiming in. Chad says something needs to be said to HR. This worker is essentially stealing from the company by doing these things.
Stealing from the company?
Yeah.
You got to get your work done.
You got to get the work done. But
maybe she is. She doesn't say that she's unproductive.
Yeah.
She just says that she's annoying.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe this is just a coworker that's complaining, so the coworker may not know about the productivity level of this employee at all. But if the productivity of the employee seemed to be a problem, I feel like that would also have been addressed by this point.
You would think so, because in my mind, I think she says it's annoying, but it doesn't keep anybody from doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
And then if she's also doing her job, there's some people that would say, well, then that's fine. If everybody's getting their work done, why does it matter? Everybody has annoying coworkers.
Yeah.
Hudson annoys me every single day.
Yeah, I do.
But it doesn't keep me from doing my job.
No.
So what am I going to do? Go to the sledgehammer and say Hudson's annoying?
Yeah. So that it's true. I think the thing is she must be getting her work done, because you can get away with a lot more when you're productive, would you say?
You absolutely can. If you're good at your job, that you have a lot more leeway.
Yeah. Shrew says, embrace your inner Jim Halpert. Move the desk to the restroom. Put office supplies in Jell-O. Post the resume online and see if she gets hired somewhere else.
I like that.
Yeah, if you like it there anyways. I mean, you can't, if you're fine with this job, you can't quit because the other coworker's annoying. Why should I leave? They're the one who sucks, I would say.
Yes.
So I do like, that's what I was thinking. One route could be the passive-aggressive route, because here's why I think going to HR, what's going to happen if you go to HR? They're going to send some kind of email that's going to at least seem like it's to everybody. Hey, we've had a problem with phone calls at the office. Can you please not personal phone call? And will that really change her behavior? I feel like probably no.
And that's going to make her be definitely passive aggressive about anybody who works near her. I feel like you'd be better off just saying it to them. Like saying face to face.
Yeah.
Rather than, because I think if you said it face to face, they're going to be less offended than if you go to HR and what she said is she felt like that would be tattling on her, which it kind of is. And I thought that would be more offensive, is if you went to the boss instead of just going straight to them and saying, can you please limit how often you're talking on the phone?
Yeah, how often Linda is on the phone here.
Like she says that they all, a lot of times she's in her AirPods when she's talking to them. So it's not like she can hear the other person on the phone call, but she can hear her coworker talking the whole time.
Yeah.
And they all listen to music in their AirPods as well, but they say that she's a loud talker, which I can relate to. And so they can all hear her through the earbuds.
Yeah, so you can either go the adult route and see how it goes of talking directly to her. I think that's probably your best bet. Although, I mean, again, would I do that? I'd be very uncomfortable. It'd be very difficult for me. Second option is if you say all the other coworkers like in the area are also annoyed, it doesn't have to be just you. You guys get together, you're all listening on your AirPods. How about you turn off those AirPods, turn on some loudspeakers, and see how she likes. Yeah, that's right. Everybody, we all talked. We agreed we wanted to listen to Maroon 5 today, and you just blast it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and annoy her. And then when she complains, you go, "Oh, that's weird. It's annoying that it's loud for us to annoying to you to have loud music, because it's annoying for us for you to be on your phone talking about the royal family all day."
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe a group table speaker.
Yeah.
That everybody can listen to music on, and then when she's in the corner talking on her phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of two ways. You can either go to her and say something, or another good way is if you get maybe one of your coworkers who's maybe a little more boisterous than you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you're a little bit shy, maybe a little bit more of a boisterous coworker to say something.
You start staging a coup, basically.
Yes, precisely.
Start assembling an army.
You need somebody else to be your voice.
Yeah. Or go to her as a group. Why
there
not?
You go.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Caitlin Clark, the biggest star in women's college basketball, still chasing that elusive women's college basketball championship. She's in the midst of that hunt right now, and she's got no shortage of distractions, including a $5 million offer on the table from none other than Ice Cube to join the Big Three Basketball League this summer. The Big Three Basketball League currently comprised of all male players. Caitlin Clark could break a pretty impressive barrier if she decided to go ahead and join the Big Three. Isaiah, should she do it?
I would lean no.
And why do you say that?
A lot of people say for the money. Obviously, $5 million for the big three is killer money because they don't play a lot of games. It's 3-on-3 basketball, not very wears them on your body.
Yeah, it would be 8 games in the regular season and possibly 2 playoff games.
And so then I think, and they say that she should because of the money, because in the WNBA, the most like big time players are making really is like $200K.
Yeah,
right.
Probably not going to be much.
So it's a huge disparity there.
Yeah.
In the cash. But at the same time, if she's in the big three, she can't be in the WNBA.
They say she can.
Oh, she can do both?
She can do both. The seasons overlap a little bit, but Ice Cube willing to make some concessions.
I'm sure that he
and
is.
work with the WNBA. So,
and what's the WNBA saying? They're saying you can go play?
I don't know if the WNBA has weighed in on the matter yet.
No chance they're allowing her to play in that. They probably want her solely in the WNBA. But in my mind, I think if you had to pick one, WNBA or Big Three, you're picking WNBA. Even though it doesn't pay as much money, and it's way more wear and tear on your body, this sets the women's game back so far if she doesn't go to the WNBA.
Why do you say that?
Because she has to be the face of the WNBA. She's the most profitable person. And so if she doesn't go to the WNBA, how is the WNBA ever going to expect to get viewers? If they can't get the best talent. Like she could be, like at this point, she's the greatest college basketball player ever. Undoubtedly. And so at this point, she could go to the WNBA and make it a watchable league. Right now, it's not a watchable league. And so if she could propel the WNBA and she skips out on doing that, it's setting women's basketball back so far.
Well, it's not her responsibility.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not her responsibility.
For her.
It's not her responsibility, but at the same time, she should do what's best for the WNBA in women's basketball and women's sports.
Yeah.
I think she should take some pride in that.
You know what set the women's game back is if she takes the 5 million, plays in the Big Three, and like is not good enough to like really be good. You know what I mean? Because the Big Three is not even. It's mostly former NBA players that were pretty good, but they're older now, and so if she's having trouble hanging with them, that would set things back. I think a lot. Like people don't want to see that; they want to see her being the star, so that could hurt her brand. But the spectacle at first of her joining up. That'd be huge for her brand. And then she carries that right in to the WNBA, where the season starts right near the end, the tail end of the Big Three season. That'd be big. But the real winner in this is the Big Three. Even her not, even if she doesn't accept, which it feels unlikely, because we're talking about the Big Three.
Basketball league.
We don't need.
It means nothing.
Who even knew the Big Three existed?
I didn't even know it was still going on
until today. Yeah,
and she already makes $3.1 million in NIL.
Yeah, she's
not really scrapping for cash.
Yeah, she'll get plenty of endorsements in the WNBA too, even if the salary isn't the best. So she's not going to do it. But I mean, hey, all what should or shouldn't, whatever. It would be fun if she did.
It would be fun. Yes,
it would be fun.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
This is our 2 cents.
I've been blessed as of late. I have been blessed. I feel as if I get more free things than anyone I know. This morning, I don't know if you noticed, Hudson, I came in with a coffee this morning.
I saw that. I was jealous.
A Tim Hortons coffee.
It looked good.
That's because I had a coupon this morning for $1 coffee. Like a printout paper coupon.
Yeah.
That I took to Tim Hortons this morning.
You got that out of the coupon clipper?
Uh-huh.
The Smart Saver?
And so I go through the drive-thru. I order my French vanilla cappuccino. Roll up to the window. Give him my $1 coffee. He looks back at me after a couple seconds and goes, "This is for $1 coffee." And I go, "Heck yeah, brother." And he goes, "You ordered a cappuccino." And so I felt like an idiot.
Yeah.
But thankfully, he gave me it for free.
What?
He didn't even charge me the $1. He said, "You know what? Here's the coupon," gave me the coupon back.
So now you still get $1 coffee.
And I still got that $1 coffee.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "You know what? You can just keep the coffee."
Wow.
And so this is now a milkshake from McDonald's a couple days ago. The free coffee this morning. I'm on fire.
You're on a roll.
I like it a lot.
Well, since you started off positive, I'll start off negative. It's not even April Fool's Day yet. I already hate April Fool's Day. I don't know if you saw the headlines that 7-Eleven is putting out a sparkling hot dog water. Clearly an April Fool's Day joke. They're trying to get a jump on the competition and put out their little funny little quips, their little pranks ahead of time. That's stupid. It's stupid. We're not doing this. We're not doing this for April Fool's Day's on Monday. For 5 days, we're going to get this nonsense. It's not funny. Nobody's laughing. It's dumb. It's played out. I don't like it.
I always hated it.
My girlfriend thinks she's more country than me all of a sudden. All of a sudden, she thinks she's more country than me. And the reason because of this, I was telling you just yesterday how I felt country again. I felt like I was in the barn. I was hanging out with the cattle, right? Yeah. Doing some country things. My girlfriend, who's like, she works as like a veterinarian assistant, was working with large animals yesterday. And she has claimed that she is now more country than me because yesterday, in shocking fashion, she got to put her hand because inside of a pregnant cow, which I would never be able to do.
No, you couldn't do that.
I couldn't do that in a million years. And so now she has claimed that she is more country than me, and I feel as if in one day she may have surpassed me. And so for that reason alone, I don't like it.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Well, I've got some good news for me. This week, I've had family in town all week, and it's crazy. Family is trading off. I've got some family leaving today, new family coming in tomorrow. I don't get a break until after Easter. And so one of the things that's happening when your family's here on vacation, they want to do vacation things. They want to eat at restaurants. I've been eating like a banshee this week. It's been a while, man. I probably put on several pounds. But all that said, I'm already looking forward to a possible meal that's coming up that involves biscuits. Possible family that's coming into town. We might go to a biscuit restaurant. And I was thinking about it. I think biscuits, if you do any food that's just a straight up food, it can't have any condiments, it can't have any seasoning, whatever. Biscuits might be the best one there is. Like the best biscuit might be better than any other best anything.
You're saying that a biscuit is the number one food?
It's possible that
you like it?
Yes, I like biscuits. Even after eating all this food, and I feel so bad about it. I feel so guilty about what I've been eating, but I'm still looking forward to biscuits. That's how good they are. I like biscuits.
I got 3 words for you. You like that?
And that's our 2 cents.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.